In Shape for Life, a lively look at what you can do to look better, to feel better, to stay in shape for the rest of your life. And now your host, Joe Levy.
Welcome to the Health Show of the 1990s. Today we're going to explore computerized body composition analysis, the lifestyle of the future, naturopathic medicine, body sculpting your legs, and much, much more. Your physical health can be assessed using many criteria. Today, we're going to introduce you to a highly reliable and scientific method of determining your health using an innovative technique called computerized body composition analysis. Okay. Dr. Hazen, body composition analysis, what exactly is it?
Well, body composition analysis is exactly that. It's analyzing the body for its component parts. What percentage of fat, what percentage of lean tissue, what percentage of water that person's body is made of.
How do you do it? You take my body apart? I mean, how do you do it?
Well, in the old days, they used to dunk you under the water.
Right.
And nowadays, it's a little bit easier. There is a computerized little machine that will take the electrical resistance of your body. You know, we set patches in different parts of the body and run a pattern. And that computer can calculate, depending on the resistance of your body, exactly what percentage of those different components you are.
How would you use that in your practice?
Well, generally, if people want to change their lifestyle, if people are, say, going on a weight loss program, it's good to know where you are. It's good to know, and when I say where you are, and that's in terms of where you are and how much you are, you know, what percentage fat you are, and where you want to go. And the computer will also print out where you'd like to go. Say you'd like to go from 40% down to 22% body fat. If you don't know where you are, you don't know how you're going to get to the next place. But also we find that a lot of people go on weight loss programs, for example, and they'll lose a lot of lean body tissue. Mm-hmm. And it's a reinforcing tool. It's a way to show people, to say, look, you must do some exercise along with this weight loss program, otherwise you're losing lean tissue and not fat.
Let's talk about lean tissue. When you talk about lean tissue, you're talking about muscle. What's the problem with losing muscle?
The problem with losing muscle, first of all, that you're losing the power system, you know, the system that powers you along, that lets you run and walk and play, etc.
You want to lose fat, but you don't want to lose muscle.
Exactly. If you lose muscle, you also lose the furnace of your body, the body's ability to burn up fuel, to burn up fat. Mm-hmm. If we don't have that tissue to burn up the fat, obviously, the fat's going to stick around. Mm-hmm. So it becomes much more difficult to lose weight as we get leaner and leaner and leaner. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is, as the lean tissue goes down, the amount of fuel burnt goes down.
Right.
So we actually need to eat less to maintain the same body weight.
So you actually could get people coming in here who look lean but are really fat.
Yes, we could. We see that all the time.
And this machine helps you do that?
It helps us determine where they're at.
Is this machine applicable to other areas of your practice?
When I say we want to take people where they're going, often if people are changing their lifestyle, it's great to know that they're changing it and improving. In other words, adding to or keeping their lean mass but reducing the fat. So we use it just as a monitor to see how people's programs are going.
Aside from weight management, what other programs could you use it in?
Well, very often people will come in and they won't be well. Mm-hmm. And they'll come in and ask us, you know, we're like a health coach. What should I do to change that? Yeah. So when we change their health status, we would like to make sure that we're doing something beneficial for them. Mm-hmm. So it's a way of us monitoring them to make sure that we're doing things right. So we may change their diet, for example, right, and want to make sure that that diet change hasn't leaned them out too much, hasn't taken away lean tissue, etc.
Could this be useful for someone with an eating disorder?
Definitely, definitely.
Are there any drawbacks?
Well, there are no drawbacks, no side effects.
No needles, no pain?
No needles, no pain.
I understand you have to get shaven a little bit if you have hair.
Just a little tiny patch on the back of your hand and the back of your foot. That's all.
What lifestyle can we expect in the 21st century? How will we work, play, and travel? We asked Drew Mitchell to join us to discuss some of these questions. Drew, you put a lot of credence and a lot of value into time management, protecting time. Why do you value time so much?
Well, it's it's such a unique resource. Ages ago, when I first read some stuff about this, there's quite a famous book, and a very good book, written by a fellow by the name of Alan Lake, and the title of which is How to Get Control of Your Time and Your Life. And that made me realize that that's really what time's about. I do a little, I guess, I don't know whether you'd call it a demonstration or a way to help people kind of fix on time in my workshops, and I get a tape measure. And I ask somebody to hold the one end, and I pull it way out here, and I say, that, you know, to set aside all the philosophical things there may have been about time, and all your years at universities, I'm sure you've delved into this. I try to give a concrete notion of what time is. It is your life, and if you use a tape measure and you pull it out here and you ask people how long the average person lives, which is what now, 75 years or something, I literally take scissors now and I'll cut it off at 75 inches. And people go, wow, you know, but that is, in fact, that straight line now represents birth to death.
Right.
Right, and then I'll put down one side. Now I won't ask you, but when I do this, I show people where I am. I'm 47 years old. I come along and I cut that off, and the piece that I hold up that is the time I've invested for me is significantly longer than the piece I hold up, which is what the time I have remaining. And so that, I guess, is why I place so much value on time. If I set aside this, every goal, dream, wish, intention, vision that I have has to be accomplished with what's left. And as I said, in my case, it's a shorter piece than what I've already invested. Then you can do things, and I often do it, like a third of what's left is going to be spent sleeping. So I snip off, and now we're dealing with a very valuable resource. So I guess that's the answer, in that I see time as so valuable because it is your life. It ticks away whether you use it effectively or not. And as long as we can kind of keep a clear picture of what we'd like to accomplish, our priorities in our life, we recognize we're dealing with a limited resource, we'll do anything we can to be more effective and efficient with that resource in terms of our priorities.
Why do you feel people have such difficulty perceiving time as a limited resource?
Gee, I don't know. I think just the rate that things come to us these days, the issues, you know, we're constantly bombarded with concerns and problems and opportunities and information, and the focus gets on the stuff that's coming to us every day, and we forget the resource that we have available to pursue those with.
Do you think people need to be educated more about the time in their lives and how to use time? Do you feel we're not doing enough of that?
I think they need to be awakened to the notion of time. I don't know about educated, but I like people to recognize, gee, this is an important resource to me. And then what they might be able to be educated about or taught are some skills in a whole range of kind of essential areas that let them make most effective use of the time they have. So typical time management skills, but also effective decision making, the development of strategies and plans, project management. These kinds of skill areas simply let people make better use of the time they have.
Coming up, a visit to the naturopath. We are all very familiar with the types of problems that people take to traditional healthcare systems in North America. But what types of problems do people take to their naturopathic doctor? Let's meet two people who receive treatment from their naturopath. And I understand you've been seeing Dr. Meisner, who's a naturopath. Why did you go see Dr. Meisner in the first place?
Well, my own gynecologist wasn't helping me. I'd had a hysterectomy.
How long ago?
I had it in January of '89. And after that, I didn't seem to get better. I got worse. I had blood pressure, and that was going worse, headaches. So he sent me to see an internal physician, and he told me I was very high risk. And he put me on blood pressure pills and took all kinds of tests. It got rid of the pressure behind the eyes, but not the headaches. And he said, just take an aspirin or Anodin. But I had these headaches all the time.
And you didn't want to take aspirins for the rest of your life?
No, and they have side effects to the blood pressure pills. So I do yoga, and I picked up a leaflet of Mr. Meisner's. And I'd seen this man in Victoria Park talking, And so I thought I'd give him a call.
What did Dr. Meisner do for you?
He helped me a great deal.
How?
He told me he asked me all kinds of questions. And
He talked to you.
yes, he did. And I got very emotional, upset, crying. And I told him I wasn't getting any better. My headaches were worse. And I was taking these blood pressure pills. And he prescribed a little bottle, no bigger than that, 2 drops 4 times a day, before my meal or after. And it helped me a great deal.
These drops you put on your eye?
No, under your tongue.
Under your tongue?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have another headache. I still take the blood pressure pills.
Right.
But I don't have no headaches. I sleep great.
I was suffering from bad health, and no one in traditional medicine was able to help me.
What kind of bad health?
Everything. I can tell you it's from a problem with the liver to constant muscle soreness I've had for many years, some depression that goes along with not feeling well all the time. I was very sensitive to a lot of foods, a lot of environmental things. Joint pain, it just went on and on and on. It just never stopped.
And have you seen traditional doctors for these problems?
Oh yes, a lot of different doctors, probably more than 40 over the last 10 years.
And then you went to a naturopath.
Yes.
What has a naturopath done for you?
Everything is better. Some is better than others. Like the joint pain, particularly with the feet, is so much better that I don't use a cane anymore.
Mm-hmm.
My spirits are better.
Mm-hmm.
I can eat more of the foods I was having terrible problems with.
So you were allergic to certain foods?
Just about everything. I couldn't eat most things, all the healthy foods I was having troubles with even. So I had checked out all sorts of different things through the hospital, through my family doctor, through specialists, and we just got nowhere.
What has he done with you or for you?
Basically, he assesses. I go in with all of my complaints. It's great because he listens.
Right.
He pays attention to what's going on. He gives me a remedy that complements this series of problems that I present to him.
Have you altered your diet?
A little bit. I took out just about all the foods that were bothering me. I had a very limited diet. Now I'm reintroducing those successfully. There are certain restrictions with homeopathy. I can't have coffee. I'm not allowed camphor. He has suggested we not have anything to do with caffeine. So I follow those guidelines, but otherwise it's to eat wholesome food. And it's not so bad, really.
You've changed your diet. What else has changed?
Well, in that I'm feeling so much better, I'm now able to get out and walk,
good for you.
riding a bike again. Not a great deal, but
Right.
you know, I'm doing it. I will get back into what my normal routine would have been for exercise. I'm giving myself a chance to heal here, but I'm not laying around just waiting for it to happen.
What is naturopathic medicine? We asked this question of Dr. Ulick Meisner. Dr. Meisner, I'm curious, what's the difference between homeopathy and naturopathy?
Naturopathy is an integrated approach to natural health care that involves a number of different therapeutic modalities, such as nutrition, hydrotherapy, iris diagnosis, Chinese medicine, acupuncture, and Chinese herbs. Homeopathy is included.
What is
And
homeopathy?
All of these are, as a naturopath, all of these approaches are then used together whenever indicated. One is used over the other. A homeopathic approach, on the other hand, is a specific tradition that is based, a specific medical tradition that is based on the theory of similars. So a choice of medicines is based on selecting the medicine according to what the person is experiencing, rather than just the disease entity. I choose a medicine according to how the person feels their problem, and I choose a medicine which most closely mimics that problem when given to healthy people. So the theory of similars states that medicines which produce symptoms in healthy people cure similar symptoms in sick people.
Now, if I didn't know what a naturopath or a homeopath did, how would I know whether he or she was a professional?
Well, there are a number of things that you can do. You can, first of all, ask if he's certified, if the naturopath is certified to practice naturopathy in the province of Ontario. In order to be a licensed naturopathic physician in this province, you have to have passed from a qualified naturopathic institution. You have to write board exams, which are a grueling 4-day extravaganza. Once you pass those two, the naturopathic education is a 7-year program. The board exams, once those are passed, then you are licensed in this province, and then that qualifies you to practice. Homeopathy has no licensing procedures. However, in order to practice as a homeopathic physician, you do have to have the licensing behind you, which gives you the right to practice medicine.
Are all naturopaths also homeopaths, or vice versa? Do they go together?
Not necessarily, although all naturopaths have been trained to a lesser or greater extent to practice homeopathy in certain situations. I happen to concentrate my skills in homeopathy. As a neurosurgeon happens to concentrate his medical skills or her medical skills in neurosurgery. They are a medical doctor, but they're also a neurosurgeon. In my case, I concentrate more of my time and effort in homeopathy, and I've spent far more time in my homeopathic training than I have in, say, nutrition or manipulation of the joints or soft tissue or in botanical medicine.
What types of problems would someone bring to you?
I treat people. As such, I treat many different conditions that people suffer from. I treat many different ages. I treat both sexes. I happen to treat from the most benign problems, such as a common cold or a concussion or a bruise, to more serious types of conditions, such as
being in the outdoors is wonderful, isn't it? We even have to interview the bugs.
More serious conditions and more chronic conditions, such as arthritis or high blood pressure and cardiovascular problems, digestive problems, ulcers, dermatitis, various kinds of conditions, such as more serious problems, such as migraines, female complaints,
Are there any
PMS.
problems that one could not bring to you who practices homeopathic
Well, there are
medicine?
problems that would be designated strictly for a medical doctor.
Such as?
Such as surgical intervention.
Okay.
When you have a fracture, you have to have it set. There are certain life-threatening emergency situations, such as third-degree burns or car accidents, where the life support systems that are so advanced in hospital facilities are not available to a naturopathic physician, and they must be taken advantage of. On the other hand, we still complement, and we can work hand in hand to speed up the rate of recovery when a person is suffering from a situation like that.
Coming up, body sculpting.
Today we will be working on legs. Many women are genetically predisposed to carrying extra pounds in the hip and thigh region, making it a prime target for training. We will be concentrating on movements with 10 to 15 repetitions for 3 to 4 sets per exercise. We recommend that you stretch or warm up before lifting to prevent injury. Also, pay close attention to breathing and form. Breathe out as you push the weight or exert yourself, and in as you enter the lifting position. The first exercise, leg curls, will isolate your hamstrings or the back of your thighs. The first step is getting into position. Press your pelvis to the pad. Hold onto bars tightly with your elbows bent. Keep ankles straight and make sure machine is adjusted properly for your height. Perform slow and controlled movements and pull weight with leg biceps and not your ankles. It is important to keep your spine, neck, and head in a straight line when performing these. The benefits of this exercise include shaping the leg biceps, tightening your lower buttocks, and supporting your lower back. The next exercise is thigh extensions, where we will work the quadriceps, the muscles at the front of the thighs. Position yourself by pressing your upper back and pelvis into the pad. Hold onto bars to ensure you only use your thigh muscles to lift the weight. Kick up forward with ankles straight in slow, controlled movements. Do not forget to breathe as you kick up. Begin with very low weight. The benefits here are firmer thigh muscles and more muscle support for your knees. Now we move on to squats, which are the most important lower body exercise, stressing your thighs, buttocks, lower back, and hips. With this exercise, pay close attention to form and breathing in order to gain full benefit safely. Enter into the position by placing your feet shoulder width apart with toes pointed slightly out. Step under the bar and place it across your upper back, not your neck. Keep stomach in, head up, and posture straight as you lower yourself down to knee level. Use legs to return to starting position. The benefits here are toning and tightening entire leg area at one time, firming the buttocks, and developing a slight thigh sweep.
Well, as you can see, our program takes your health very seriously by being on the cutting edge of information and programs. Our definition of health is changing at a rapid pace. The exercise, lifestyle, and healthcare program of yesterday may no longer be appropriate today. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
If you have any comments on today's show, or if you would like more information about the topics, please write to Dr. Joseph Levy, In Shape for Life, care of CKCO-TV, 864 King Street West, Kitchener, Ontario, N2G 4E9.